Hello everybody, welcome back to this old trike. Today we've got a trike related project that we're going to do, but it's part of a bigger thing that we have to do every year. Let me turn this around and I'll explain. So every year when the leaves fall off the trees and the temperatures go down and the seasons change. Oh, hi Bennett. Every year when this happens, we have to get the bagger out, or my buddy loans me his bagger, and we suck up all the leaves and we put them on the burn pile and make the property look nice again. This year Bennett is doing that whole job almost entirely himself. What'd you do, just gas up?
Yes.
All right. Are you full or mostly full?
Mostly full.
How many hours have you got into this little
7.
operation? 7? That's it?
Yeah.
Felt like more as I watched you. No, I haven't been watching him. He's been doing it at work for the most part. But as you can see, our camper is awaiting its wintertime resting spot, as is the boat, as is the enclosed trailer. And those all go in here. We're probably going to hear Bennett mowing as we record, so be conscious of that. And before he starts it, I'll end this and show you what we need to do before we can put these away. Say bye, Bennett.
Bye.
So I'd like to think I've coined the phrase, or the expression, the whatever we want to call it, Trike Tetris, where, you know, the phenomenon of interlacing your three-wheelers together to defragment, to maximize and optimize your storage space. So this is the Trike Tetris that was done after the last event I had here. We had a charity event a couple months ago at this point. But this location where we stand now, this is where the camper goes to about that post. This is where the enclosed trailer goes to about that post. And this is where the boat goes. And all my viewers, I know you're smart because you've liked and subscribed, but you are smart enough to know you're not going to put any of those three large objects in there with all those three-wheelers there. And then you might say, why do you have all this space unoptimized? Well, that is because I've got those 2x6s and 2x4s, and we are going to make a shelf below the Honda sign. This 2x4 is at the 6-foot mark. So we are going to build a shelf that connects there and comes out 4 feet. We're going to copy the angle brackets I made over here. So we're grabbing onto the posts. We won't have a down post if we can avoid it. That's my goal, at least. And on that shelf, all my 70s will be placed, so no child ever has to worry about being hurt on these. I'm doing this to protect the children. These were meant to be looked at and put on shelves. That's what Honda engineers designed them for. That's why they made them so beautiful. So in an effort to, you know, do with these what the Honda engineers designed them for, I'm putting them on a shelf. And then I can do my Trike Tetris and wad hopefully everything from here over, because the boat comes in about to there. It's 10 foot between posts, so that's a 60-foot wall. We're going to make about a 35 and a half, 36-foot shelf. And probably just going to do a bunch of time lapse, maybe jump in and show you what I'm working on at certain intervals. And Bennett's going to mow. And then we'll make this whole property smoky as we burn all those leaves. All right. That's it for us. See you soon. Okay. Palin's been stacking. We did a little assembly line process. Once I figured out what I wanted the bracket design to be, which took me probably 2 hours of scratching my head. I want to mimic this upper shelf, but it's mimicked. It's not going to be identical. This one's going to be carrying more weight. So I do need to go to Home Depot either tonight or in the morning to get some 2x8. And we're going to go as far as we can tonight. We're going to build the brackets that are going to hang off the 6x6s. And maybe some of the framework in between of, it's going to be 2x4s. You can see the underside here. So that's kind of what we're going to do right now. What do you think, Palin? Are you helping Dad?
Yeah.
Doing a great job.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, that being said, let's get back to work. Yeah. So we have finished one of the braces. I've got some big heavy duty construction lags that are going to go in the points where shear force is important, like up there and over here and down there. I was explaining to Palin tensile forces versus compression forces versus shear strength, giving her a little physics lesson. But that's the first one, so we got 3 more of those to build. I have to cut these off with my Sawzall. And then a little more framing for what will be the deck. But that post gets a bracket. That post gets a bracket, and then that post down there. So let's try to get one more done. What do you say, girl?
Sure.
Okay. So in true this old trike fashion, I've done a ton of work and forgot to record it. So this is bracket number 2, but as you can see, it's connected to a bunch of stuff. And we've done a bunch of work and forgot to show you. Today is Wednesday morning, so apparently I didn't record anything Sunday, which I didn't get super far. But let's give you a little update, I guess. I'll back up. So this was the first post we did, our bracket for the post. Then I went to this one, got that one done. That was all I got done Saturday, pretty much. A lot of head scratching and figuring and whatnot. But then on Sunday, I finished these 2 other brackets. I had to move all my scrap wood around, which is always fun. Only moved that 40 times. Then I started in down here with this framing. I'm going through the wall. I tie into the posts also. Got my 2x8s on the front. As I load this up, I'm going to measure deflection just to see if I'm sagging significantly or not. Kind of the way I've done this, you know, my deck is not sitting on those brackets, so it's kind of like the equivalent of unibody. You know, my supports are built into the shelf, so we'll see how they handle it. The goal is to not have a down post, but that will be dependent. Once I load that up with 70s, you know, if we've got sag, we might need to adjust. We need to continue on to this point, so it's going to be about 6 more feet right there. The Honda letters are getting moved up and over. I did the H. Got to move those bottom brackets out because it doesn't like to be supported in the middle or anywhere other than the outsides, apparently. Like each of these is sitting on a 2x4, but it's only making contact on the outside. Tricycle guy and I noticed that when we were putting them up. But doing them this way allows me, with those brackets, allows me to get rid of the 2x4 that you can see here that they're sitting on. So I'm trying to get this done now before the weekend. So here it is, 6:30 in the morning. I'm just trying to poke around and keep advancing. So this weekend I can get it loaded up, and once it's loaded up, I can sweep up, clean everything out of this area, move all those things over into this area, and then back my camper in. Because guess what happened last night? It snowed. So it's always a gamble. You know, sometimes we don't get snow till December. Sometimes you get it in mid-November. Sometimes you get it on Halloween, but those are rare. But that's where this progress report is going to end, and we're going to catch you next time. Well, work has continued, and we have got the whole Honda sign adjusted. I've got the little feet holding it up and some clamps just around the top of the letters holding it in place right now, and though that's not a lot, I do feel that's good at this point. I'm getting the last little bit of shelf put up. It's before 7, so I don't want to start screwing because I do have some neighbors about 100 feet away from here. So I just got 2 screws holding that in place. I'll fasten in the 2x4s underneath. That section is unsupported, so I will actually be hanging it down from my upper shelf with some cable. I think the 70s will ride somewhere mid-red area below the letters. So you'll still be able to read Honda, but you won't be able to see the entirety of the sign. I think we're going to be strong enough, but like I said, I think before, I'm going to be monitoring shelf deflection as load is applied. I did go to engineering school, but I don't know how much weight the shelf is going to hold. Different friends, such as MRC Builds, have chimed in with ideas that I'm taking under consideration. I like the clean look of no posts, no additional cables, but I do like having safety of my machines, because you figure 1370s are going to go up there, and last thing you want to do is have them fall. This is what it looks like when you're a bit of a hoarder. Yeah. So I just put this new light in right there. Hard to distinguish them from the other lights, I guess. But that's one of those high output hanging lights, and this is a cheapy Amazon guy like this that I wouldn't recommend these, even though they were, at the time, I think 4 for $40. They have a tendency to do that on you. kind of get half dim or just blow altogether. I was down to 5 out of 8. So I don't recommend those. But what you're going to see probably in the next segment is I will have cleaned out a path through here. I will have staged the squad of 70s probably beneath the shelf just to make sure I like spacing, so I can space them on the ground and then just quick zip them up. I'll probably be pulling some of these out over here because I got to have access to this whole area for the tractor. So today is Friday. That will likely be Sunday because I think I got some plans with my wife on Saturday, which is always a good thing. All right, over and out. We'll see you on Sunday. Well, this isn't the prime weather for this time of year. I don't live near Buffalo. Buffalo is where the lake effect snow just dropped like 6+ feet or so, 66 inches, plus or minus, which is insane. But it is snowing right here. I'll show you what I'm looking at. So I have failed at getting the camper put away before snow falls, and the boat, which is over there on the other side of the trailer. Why? Because I'm lazy? No, because I'm an idiot. Because I've been playing with this shelf, and we are ready to load. So I've got the tractor in the barn, just pulled it inside, so it is covered in snow. I've adjusted my forks with this little pallet, which is, I think, the pallet that the 85-200ES, 85-200ES, yeah, that's right. I think that's the pallet that came on. So I'm gonna load this up and see how it goes. All the plywood has been put down and screwed down, and you can see that. I've got cable supports going from one shelf to the other. You know, I don't anticipate a huge amount of weight. Each one of these weighs about 165 to 170 pounds, and we're going to put 13 of them up there. In case you're not a genius, that's about 2,200 pounds. So just over a ton, 2.1 tons. And I'm going to take some measurements and make sure we don't have a bunch of sag, but the first things to go up are the 73 70s. I'm going to put my worst one over there on the end, and then the nicest one will be somewhere in here, then 74, then 78, 79, all the way over. And of course that probably needs to be on time lapse a little bit so you can see how good or bad I am at forklifting these up there. But let's let's find out. What do you say? So my phone battery died somewhere in there, so I don't know how many I had loaded up, but we are ready to go with number 7, the 1980 ATC 70. I had these pointed the other way, but I realize based on how you stand in this room that they need to be kicked to the left as you're sitting on the machine, to the right as you're looking at it, to get the view of the tank. And I had not factored in for 14 machines, which is what it is. I thought it was 13. So in actuality, this shelf is carrying, what is it, 2365, 2370, something like that. So halfway is about right here. So with this next one on there, that's going to be just about right. That's 7 with 7 to go. And I feel good about this. Now that they're up there, I don't really have any concerns about the weight being carried. And I think they look really cool. Okay, let's get to work. Well, that's 13. You saw me switch and start doing the ones on the end first. There ain't no way, I don't think, 14 is going to get up there. So I got to make a decision. What gets moved? I think I might have to make this from the ground. All right, be right back. Okay, we are finished. So we ended up sticking the spare 7370 up there. And then the not so nice 7370 is first, and then the really nice restored 7370 is next. 74, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83 Christmas special. Another 83 Christmas special. This is the really, really nice one that I brought home from Trike Fest. 83, 84, 85 down there on the end. And I'm really liking this. Over time, I know if you go back to the video that I did on these 3 7370s, over time I'm going to condense them down into no more than 2, but probably just 1, and then sell off the other 2. But this was 2 weekends worth of work. Some planning ahead of that, but last weekend we just didn't get the job done. Spent some mornings out here getting things done, probably to the chagrin of my neighbors who had to listen to my impact driver. But as I loaded this up, I really I feel really good about it. I don't think there's any concerns of any catastrophic failure. The MVP of the day, at least, is the Coyote tractor that we got this summer. Lifted everything right up where it needed to go. So that being said, thanks for watching. I think my gimbal's being a little goofy. It's weird, I'm not used to trying to get things up and behind me, but this will now allow me to move all the machines over there into this area behind me here, so we can get things put away for the winter, which has started early, as you have seen. So hopefully the 40-degree weather that is supposed to happen on Wednesday and on Thanksgiving comes and melts off the snow on the camper and the boat. And the next couple of mornings I'll spend out here making a hole over there, which I feel really good about now that I see all this open space. I'm probably gonna stick my tires up on the high shelf since the tractor is in the barn. I'd be a fool not to use that. Got a bunch of wall space there I gotta do something with. But thanks for watching again. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll do more fun things probably in other videos, but if you like carpentry and putting three-wheelers in places where they won't harm children, maybe this video was very entertaining for you. I pinched my finger really good between the steering stop on one of the, I think it was the 82. So I got a nice blood blister there. I felt amazing. Thankfully my hands were really cold when it happened, so it didn't hurt too bad. That's it. Have a great night. Over and out. Catch you next time.